Hi, I'm Clay Hood with Precision Pro Golf. I wanted to give you a general overview of the NX7 Pro rangefinder. With the NX7 Pro, we have two buttons on top. We have a mode button. This mode button is going to change the product between yards and meters. It's also going to change the product between slope and non-slope versions. Here we have a green power button. This is what you're going to use to measure your distance and also turn the product on. Next we have the adjustable eyepiece. This is what you're going to look through. It's also adjusts based on the way your eyes work to provide a clear display for what you're looking at. Lastly, we have the battery door that's located directly below the eyepiece. This is where the battery is located, and this is where you're going to change the battery when it comes time to do that. I quickly wanted to go over a couple best practices for the NX7 Pro rangefinder. The first thing is with the eyepiece. So this is where you look through to look at your target. The eyepiece is adjustable. So when you look through there, you may see that the display is either clear or it's not clear. This is based on factors of how your eyes work, how much light comes in. So if the display is not clear, simply turn the eyepiece and you'll see that display start to adjust for you, and it should start to clear up. So make sure you adjust that eyepiece to get a clear view. Next is how we actually use the rangefinder. We're going to press the green mode button. We're going to look through the product. We're going to see the display come up. We're going to see a crosshair come up. We're going to look through there. We're going to find our target, and we're going to point that crosshair at our target. We're going to press the green power button once, and then we're going to pan that crosshair just slightly over our target. And what that does, it makes it super easy to pick up your target, whether it be a flag or a tree or something else. Just lightly pan that crosshair across the target, and that's going to make it very easy. Lastly is actually the green mode button itself. When we press this, we want to press and release. If we hold the target button down, we're going to see some kind of issues with the way the measurement works. So we want to get that crosshair at our target, we want to press the green button, we want to release it. We'll see that measurement come through. It makes it very easy to use. I wanted to quickly go over how you change modes with the NX7 Pro rangefinder. With the NX7 Pro, we have a couple different options. We have yards and meters, and we also have slope and non-slope versions. So first, to change the product between yards and meters, we're going to hold the mode button down. You're going to hold that down for about 2 seconds. When you look through the display, you'll see either an M for meters or a YD for yards. It's obviously very important to make sure that you're on your correct unit of measure there. Nextly, on the mode version, we have slope and non-slope versions. So when you look through the product, if you see an M1, you're in non-slope version. That non-slope version is tournament legal. It's not measuring elevation changes. The second version is M2, and that is our slope version, and that's with elevation changes. When that is activated, you're going to see an M2 displayed. You're also going to see an extra yardage displayed above the main yardage. That is your actual play as distance, adjusted distance for the slope. To change that, you would press the mode button one time. So take a couple times to cycle through that. One click changes the slope, a 2-second hold changes yards and meters. I quickly wanted to go over a few troubleshooting items with the NX7 Pro rangefinder. The first issue we see are the modes, yards or meters. Obviously, if the product's in the wrong mode based on what you're trying to measure in, if you're trying to measure in yards and the product's in meters, you're going to have issues with accuracy. So you want to look through the display. You want to see if there's an M for meters or a YD for yards. If there is the wrong one, hold that mode button down for about 2 seconds. You'll see that change. It's very important to make sure that that is displayed correctly. Secondly is slope or non-slope versions. So M1 is non-slope. M2 is our slope version. That non-slope version is tournament legal. Our M2, our slope version, is not tournament legal. To change those, you just press the mode button one time. Very important if you're playing in a tournament not to turn that on. That could cause you an issue. Always look through there and make sure that that's the case. Next, with the NX7 Pro rangefinder, one thing we see, we've made this product nice and compact. It's easy to use, easy to store. One issue with that, though, is we can see people get their finger around the front of the rangefinder there. If that happens, that kind of blocks the display, can cause issues with accuracy. So when you're using this, make sure you keep your hands back on the product like this. Don't get to a spot where that thumb or that little finger gets around the front of the product there. That can cause issues. Last thing we see is a situation where you may only see a part of the flag. There could be a hill, there could be a bunker, kind of blocking the way. You know, the laser technology on a rangefinder is actually really good at filtering out the flag versus trees and things behind the target. And with that, we see that if there's like a hill in the way or there's kind of a bunker in the way and you can only see a little bit of the flag, it could be a little tough to pick up the flag because, you know, it's hitting that hill or it's hitting whatever else you see. So in that case, you may have to kind of step on the cart. You may have to move side somewhere where you can get a little bit more of the flag. Makes it much easier to pick up that target.